Welcome back to Daytona. Ralph Shaheen, Jeff Emig, and Ricky Carmichael with us as we bring you the main event for the Supercross Lights East Coast Division here at the Daytona Supercross. And if you're going to win a race, this is the one, the Daytona Supercross. The manufacturers get so much marketing exposure out of this event. Martin Davalos has won a non-points race a couple of years ago, the Toronto Supercross up at the Rogers Center. And that was a non-points race. This would be his career first win, and what a place to get it.
I'm telling you, but you know, Davalos, he actually trains at the Millsaps training facility, Ricky, that's not too far from your farm and your training facility, and you actually set up Daytona tracks that are Supercross and sand.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, I went by there, the MTF there, and they made a mock of this. It wasn't identical, but they had a replication of it to some sort. And he was out there. I seen him this week out there practicing and getting ready. And yeah, we used to set up for it. We'd have some Supercross set up and then some sand out there. And looks like he's done his homework this week for sure.
Oh, he's dialed in and he's motivated. I'm telling you, this is a huge lead for him right now. Porcel doesn't have the pressure of having to win the race, to win the championship. He's really comfortable in that aspect, but I'm telling you, Porcel is starting to close it up. Yes. And Lemoyne is not too far off the pace either.
Lemoyne ain't leaving him no slack.
He's at the top of your screen. He'll come by on the blue bike right there.
Well, and as we've talked about, Jeff, the Lights Championships are such short seasons. If Porcel can get the win here tonight, that really puts a dagger into the competition as this one winds down.
Well, and it's Izzy who has really been consistently close to Porcel. And Izzy's running fourth right now. Porcel really just feeling the flow. He's so cautious, so patient right now as they lap Steve Clark, who is out there off the start in the beginning. So this main event not playing out like he wanted with that great start.
Davalos did turn the quickest lap of the night with a 109.9, but the pace has slowed down to a 111. Is that the track deteriorating,
guys? Look how
guys?
close they are in time, though. Both 111.1s, both of them. That is unbelievable. I mean, that's stuff you see in car. That's the biggest thing that blows my mind in stock car racing is how close the time runs.
Yeah, but we just crossed the stripe this time, Ricky. Look at that. 110.7 for Porcel, 111.3 for Davalos. Porcel is on the gas.
And here he comes, the Pro Circuit Monster Energy Kawasaki rider. And Ricky, we've talked a lot about the Pro Circuit team and Mitch Payton. You know that program very, very well. It is a champions-making factory. What is it about Mitch Payton, as we watch Porcel closing in, that he's able to find guys that make champions out of it?
Mitch Payton works harder than just about anybody else I know, and you can see it by the results he gets. And look at, I mean, he's closing in
now.
Now
the pressure starts, Ricky. What's that like?
This is when the race starts right here for these guys. I mean, it's just like he's just been hanging on right behind him, maybe trying to pressure Davalos and make it tough on him.
It makes Davalos is getting in a nervous situation. He can see the crowd. He can feel him and hear him. He knows that Porcel is reeling him in. Porcel, former world champion. He's won main events. That's out of the way. Davalos is trying to do it for the first time. That's a very special win, trying to get that first one. That's nervousness.
If there's any place I want to be, I'd rather be in Porcel's spot than Davalos. You can kind of look, though. I think Davalos might be running out of steam a little bit. He's laboring around the turns. You got to check it out. Like right there, you guys can see he's just
coasting.
Really coasting.
And he's going to have to dig deep here in the final stages of this one because he's got the lead. But as you said, Porcel is coming on strong. Man, he's going to have to shift into another gear to get this win.
4 laps to go, and I'm telling you, for Davalos, he's going to have to get those demons out of his mind, right? All that negativeness. And when you're in this position and that rider starts to reel you in, you get that nervous, that weak jello feel in your arms. You know what I'm talking about?
Here comes Porcel. He's coming on strong. And over the big single jump, he takes the lead, but can he hang on to it? Davalos suddenly gets inspired, starts to find a little bit more speed, but still is not able to pull back up alongside. No! He makes a big bobble there, and that's going to do it. And Porcel will start to open up a big gap.
Well, and now this is what Davalos has to keep in mind now. He has to keep his composure. Okay, not just totally fall apart mentally, because we've got Lemoyne and Izzy are still back there in third. Now he's lost the lead. He has to accept that. He has to regroup mentally, not make any more mistakes. That was a horrible lap for Davalos. A 113.7 to Porcel's 111.2. That's a second and a half.
Davalos here, you can see him
legs so long.
Yeah, he just looks like you said, I think you used the right word, laboring to get through it.
He's really laboring. Like right here, you guys can see him just kind of barely standing up.
Here through the woods, Davalos just coasting. Porcel totally on the gas, just hammers it.
And then all of a sudden he gets inspired, but it was too little too late then.
And let's take a look at the pass for third as Izzy was working on Lemoyne. Same spot through the woods. Watch Izzy. Upshift. Lemoyne's coasting, gets out of control. And talk about jello, them arms.
That's right.
But Matthew was
Lemoyne was looking for that first podium, and
slipped away.
Old arms started feeling like noodles.
And that's the thing, Ralph, is that you start thinking ahead, and you start, I'm going to make the podium here at Daytona, or Davalos, I'm going to win, and you start thinking, instead of focusing on the task at hand, thinking, being in the moment, your mind starts to run away from you. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to bag on these guys. I've been there before. It's a tough situation. All these riders here in the top four putting in great rides tonight, but none better than the 377 of Porcel.
I mean, the guy is just silky smooth, man.
And Ricky, we've also spent a lot of time talking about everything that Porcel has gone through, the injuries, the comeback, the injuries again, just devastating crashes as well. Jeff has given his perspective on that and from everything he went through in his career. You did as well. How tough is it and how impressed are you with what he's accomplished?
I'm very impressed. He had a very bad injury from everything that I've heard, and just to rebound like this in Supercross, never really doing it a full season because he got injured last year, pretty remarkable. And this is a tough track, and man, I'm glad to see he could come back on the lights rather than doing this on the lights.
Well, there was also a point that it was questionable whether even he would ever race again. So he's living the dream.
There's a gap back to third. Nico Izzy trying to catch Davalos, and he really needs to get Davalos to get those extra points if he wants any shot in this championship, because Porcel looks like he's well on his way to getting maximum points. So now Izzy has got to get around Martin on this final lap to keep it remotely close.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about Izzy. I know in the preseason testing that the Suzuki team had, you were giving Izzy quite a bit of grief. Like you do.
Boy, that could have been disastrous. Oh, that could have been disastrous. But even with all of that, Davalos is caught up with two slower riders and didn't make much speed. And Ricky, he still looks like he's laboring. He's just not good through here.
No, he is. You guys
he even looked back. Did you see that?
Down, yeah, he knows. Man,
he's just trying to hang on.
I tell you what, I got to give it up for Izzy. Just like Jeff pointed out earlier, you know, his practice times aren't impressive, but man, the guy is a racer. He shows up when the time counts, and I think he would have got second or contended for the win. Look at him.
Look at the speed through here.
He knows.
He's got it. He's caught him. He has caught him. He is on him, and he's got about a fourth of the track left to go. Let's see if Izzy can reel him in. Remember, the points championship at stake for Izzy. He's got to get maximum points tonight because the man in front of him in the points championship is going to. Christophe Porcel on his way to the checkered flag. Here he comes. Porcel's going to get his third win of the year. Christophe Porcel has won the Daytona Supercross in the lights class. Here comes Izzy. Can he get second? No! Davalos will get his best finish of the year, and Izzy is going to have to settle for third. But once again, in 4 races, Izzy finishes on the podium 4 straight times. Just not the one step he wanted.
No. Man.
We'll be right back to talk to Christophe Porcel after this. Has been so strong this year. 3 wins, and he got the biggest one of the year here tonight by winning the biggest race of the Lights East Coast season, the Daytona Supercross. Welcome back in the big speedway here, the Big D, the World Center of Racing. Fans having a great time here tonight. Beautiful weather, great racing. Hi everybody, Ralph Shaheen, Ricky Carmichael, and Jeff Emig with you once again. We're high above the racetrack here. And Ricky, let's talk a little bit more about Christophe Porcel. How impressed were you with that performance?
Oh, that was unbelievable. It's just like he stood back there, and when the time came right, boom, he got it and got a Daytona Supercross win, man. That's what it's all about.
It's huge, yeah.
But Izzy just keeps coming up short, Jeff.
Yeah, well, Izzy, he showed a lot of heart. Once again, he came through the pack from way back, and I tell you, when we talk about heart, we can't forget about Will Hahn, who had that accident that we highlighted off the start, off the parade lap. He comes back for a 5th place finish. So really a good ride for him to regroup mentally.
Eases that pain just a little bit, right? Until the adrenaline wears off and he starts feeling it again. Well, let's go right down there in just a second. First, let's show you the results. from this race. And Matt Lemoyne, he struggled a little bit, still gets just off the podium, finishes 4th. And Blake Wharton, back on pace. Jeff, he didn't even make the main event at Indianapolis, and now we see him back inside the top 10 for the young rookie. All right, now let's head down to Aaron, who has our winner. Aaron?
Christophe Roussel did exactly what he set out to do. Christophe, congratulations, your 3rd victory of the season. Were you like a predator hunting its prey, just waiting to make that move on Martin?
Yeah, I was waiting for make the move. I know that he never rode like he really fast at the beginning. Then I think he got tired, and my Kawasaki bike was awesome tonight, and you know, I got some good lap at the end. I wasn't really good before the start, but I want to say thanks to everybody, all my sponsors, Post Laminate, Tor, Aximas, Bridgestone, Scott, Vance, everybody, thanks.
Christophe, he was under the weather last weekend, but he's definitely in fine form here in Daytona.
Well, remember, we have our speed trivia question, and RC, if you know the answer to this, you can't answer, okay? Okay. All right, here's a question. Which of these riders has not won both Supercross and Supercross Light at Daytona? Jeremy McGrath, some guy named Carmichael, Chad Reed, James Stewart. To enter, either text your answer, the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 to speed 3, which is 773333. Standard texting rates apply, or you can log on to speedtv.com. Keyword SX. The winner will receive a 32 gigabyte Apple iPod Touch. Stay tuned to the end of the night and we'll give you the answer. Good luck to you. Let's go right back down to Aaron.
Nico Izzy once again keeping it consistent. Nico, what a night it was for you. Explain what's going on and how you feel about being back here up on the podium.
Yeah, you know, the start, it's grass, and you don't really know where to sit on the bike, and you either spin or wheelie, and I thought that first gate would pay off and I could tuck around, but I was nearly dead last, and I had to fight for that one. You know, I couldn't do it without my, RG3. We went out and tested this week, and it was really good. And Rockstar Makita Suzuki, my girlfriend, my dad, my mom, everybody, thank you so much. And it was a good night. Now I had to put on a hard charge, and it was good.
Congratulations on a hard charge. And then Martin Davalos. Martin, you this week had a track that was simulated, some sand put in at Georgia. How much did that help you tonight in your performance?
Well, it helped a lot, riding out there with Colleen every day, and her and Big Brian and all the boys at MTF just built us something pretty similar, and I just can't help, I can just thanking off them for waking up every morning and getting the track ready, and my parents, my Muscle Milk, MDK, KTM, just my mechanic, everybody just, I'm so glad to be out here. It was great to lead a couple laps, and just a bummer I got tied up and lost it.
Martin Davalos, a serious contender, getting stronger and stronger each and every weekend.
Okay, guys, so the lights are wrapped up. Ricky, you've been watching both of these divisions, the East and the West. Which one do you think is stronger, East or West right now?
You know, I think they both are strong, to be honest with you. I think the East got some great riders, and the West. As far as points battle go, obviously we know the West is a little bit tighter, but it's just so neat to see guys so talented out there, man. I appreciate it so much. Just enjoy it. I'm a huge fan.
It's great to watch. And don't forget, here on Speed, you're going to see that East-West shootout. The only time this year they all get together that first weekend in May at a Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas. That's going to be great fun. Hey, coming up, we got more killer racing for you from here in Daytona. The Daytona Supercross. The Supercross class is coming up. You think the lights are good? We're going to get the best of the best. Reed, Stewart, Lawrence, Villapoto, and the rest of the field lined up on the gate. 20 riders for 20 laps. And the biggest race of the year, the Daytona Supercross by Honda. And the only place you can see it is right here, live on Speed. Glad to have you with us, because when we come back, we're dropping the gate. One of the best things about Supercross is that it is such a wonderful family sport. Look at all these youngsters hanging on the fence, cheering on their heroes. They got their pictures, their poster cards, and they're having a great time. You want to talk about the Ironmen of Supercross? Look at the starts that these guys have racked up. Mike LaRocco leads it with 228. Kevin Windham here racing tonight, making his 150th start. And with more on that, here's Aaron.
Well, guys, that's right. It's absolutely hard to believe that when this gate drops for the main event, it's going to mark the 150th Supercross career start for the number 14 of Kevin Windham. When I told him about it earlier this afternoon, he said he wasn't even aware of this accomplishment, but he said, wow, I've gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience over the years, he said, but as a veteran, he's still learning something each and every weekend. We caught up with him earlier this afternoon. Here's what he had to say about his accomplishment.
I'm out here still trying to improve myself. So 150 races later, there's still things that I'm learning personally. But you know, being on a lights, you know, primarily a lights team, I got a lot of new guys, a lot of up and comers, and you know, any information or experiences that I can share with them to you know, help them in the right direction is awesome, and you know, it's rewarding for me as a rider, and the experiences that I've gone through, it makes them, you know, worth the while. So you know, it's been a great career for me, one that I look back on with many fond memories, and man, it would be hard to change anything.
In case you were wondering, Ricky, you had 115 starts, and there is Kevin Windham.
Not even close to 150.
The Supercross main event getting ready. These guys are on their parade lap. We're going to drop the gate right after this. Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, only on Speed. Inside the Daytona Speedway, getting ready for the main event, and one rider who won the Anaheim race, the first one of the year, Josh Grant, looked like maybe he was going to have a shot at getting into the main here tonight, but watch what happened in the last chance qualifier, Jeff.
Well, he looked great in practice, but here in the LCQ, he was chasing down Tedesco and Way. Hand comes off. Watch on this next shot. He really focus on his throttle hand here. Comes off the bike, slams his right leg down. When he gets up, he's limping.
Wow. Yeah, he took a couple steps, just probably from adrenaline, and he got off of that thing quick. Just a shame.
Let's show you the up close for the main event as you take a look at Ivan Tedesco getting ready, who came through the last chance qualifier.
Well, the last spot in the last chance.
The up close for the main event here now. 20 riders for 20 laps.
Well, you've spent quite a bit of time with Ivan as we take a look at the up close here.
James Stewart and Josh Hill are heat winners. Davey Millsap's got that lost win tonight, coming into the main at a last chance qualifier. And you know, Ricky, you won this race 5 times. Jeff, you've won it once. I've got to call it a few times. How much tension do you feel differently in the gate, since it is the biggest race of the year, arguably?
Well, you know, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, all the Japanese head honchos are here from each manufacturer. You got that weighing on you. You're looking up there. You're down at the start line, looking up here to where you know they're watching. You want to do it, and it, like you said, it's Daytona Supercross, and it's very, very physical, and just you got a lot on your mind.
Yeah, definitely. And we're taking a look at Davey Millsaps here. Millsaps and Ivan Tedesco, both on the Red Bull Honda factory Honda team, had to go through the LCQ. So what sort of pressure when they didn't make it through?
Oh man, that would have been bad, you know, for sure. But they did, and they're ready to go.
There you see Tim Ferry on the number 15 Monster Energy Kawasaki, and for Tim, he gets to race here tonight in his home state of Florida.
It's definitely nice not to go to the airport and get on a flight for 5-6 hours to go to California. Florida, all my family can actually get to see me race, and people I grew up racing around are all here, so it's kind of neat.
There is Chad Reed, and James Stewart is in this race as well. The two title combatants tied atop the points. Ricky, you've raced both these guys. Who do you give the edge to tonight?
Well, I think it's, everybody's leaning towards James, but they do every weekend, and look what happened. I think for the series, just watching all year and watching you guys in the broadcast, last weekend was a huge step for this series for Reed as far as just keeping it intact. James has won so many races in a row, so it's kind of like, it's revised, it's new.
Past the halfway, we have 8 to go.
Yeah.
And it's tied.
Absolutely, and he broke that streak, so you can kind of start over.
Yep, and he definitely is motivated once again, and he knows how to get it together for the full 20 laps, the main event. We spoke about that earlier.
You could never bet against Reed on 20 laps. Here we go.
The Daytona Supercross about to get underway. And it's Michael Rossi in a big pileup. James Stewart is caught up in that. Here comes Reed. Reed's going to get through. Josh Hill is caught in the middle of that.
Oh my
Josh Hill is in the middle.
Chisholm's down.
Stewart's getting on the wrong bike.
Stewart trying to get on the wrong bike.
Yeah.
He was trying to get on Hill's bike. Michael Lessie's got the whole shot. And this just turns the championship completely upside down.
I can't believe. Did you see Stewart?
He's still trying to get going. Well, we saw Hill's got the 75. We probably saw the 7. It's a blue bike to win for.
Wow.
He can't get it started. Look at the visor. The visor's on. Is that Larry Brooks?
Oh, they got it going.
They got it going.
Oh, man.
And the front fender is broken. Oh, Oh, what a night for James Stewart. Look at the helmet.
That's going to be tough, man.
Look at the helmet, gentlemen. What does he do now? What does he do?
He charges hard for 20 laps.
Yeah. Points. Here we go.
Now watch this.
The grass, guaranteed. Watch his front wheel, guys. Watch. See it live?
Yes.
You're gone.
Michael Byrne.
Okay, let's see what happens here.
Michael Byrne looked like he had the start.
Oh, big wreck for Byrne.
He gets into the back of Michael Byrne.
Look at Reed there stopping.
Reed was able to stop. Hepler, Wyndham, Villapoto all caught up in it.
Let's see what James does here. He's looking.
Look at Hill looking for his bike.
He thinks it's his bike.
And that's Josh Hill's machine. He grabs the wrong bike, and Hill's like, thanks for picking it up. Now get off of it. That's mine. Go get your own.
Yeah, man, he didn't. His bike was out of sight.
Is he dazed?
He might have hit his head. Definitely. One more look at it. Watch Stewart here. Grabs the front brake and smacks his head on the ground. Takes Byrne out. That allows Leslie for the whole shot.
I think Hill ran over his helmet, man.
He could have come right into him hard. That's the second time this year he's had that happen to him hard with a big wreck. Remember back in Anaheim.
So, one lap in the books for James Stewart. He comes across the stripe, 4 positions from the back, and it's Jason Lawrence in second.
Look at this.
Okay, so Jason Lawrence now. We talked about how fast he was in the practice qualifying session, and Jeff, think about this. The last time an active lights rider, which Jason Lawrence is, won a Supercross main event was John Dowd in Charlotte back in 1998 on a Yamaha.
Wow.
Little history could be made here tonight.
And it's crazy because of Lawrence's season on the West
Here
Coast
he comes.
lights.
Lawrence on the gas hard. Remember, he's got nothing to lose. Trying to come around Alessi, and Alessi goes to the outside, and Lawrence gains even more ground.
Wow. You got to watch a sneaky move from Lawrence here. He might go for it.
Well, and Alessi, he's coming off
to the inside. Almost.
There you go. And there's so much racing left. You know, it really isn't necessary, but makes great for watching as a fan and on TV.
Reed, by the way, is in 7th. Reed is in 7th.
I am just astounded. I still can't
Here
get over the front.
Here
Here you go.
Lawrence to the whoops. Beats him to the big single jump. And Jason Lawrence is leading in Daytona.
We weren't even sure Lawrence was going to be racing here. Lines up, amazes everybody by setting the fastest lap in qualifying. Now he's out leading the main event with the 2 top stars buried way back in the pack, which certainly increases his chances of actually taking this thing for 20 laps.
What we don't know is his endurance level, if he can hold on. And Tim Ferry is down. Tim Ferry racing here in his home state of Florida.
Doesn't look like there was any pain on his face. That was just a situation. Something there.
Look at the cap. Oh, and Alessi with a
crazy on the stairway to heaven.
How tough is it, Ricky? We talked about the training regimen for Lawrence. He's been on and off the bike all year long. He's been running in the lights class as we go back to Reed, who passes Voss and starts making his way towards the front. He's got Villapoto coming with him as well. These guys are
this is
about 5th position right here.
This is a long race.
Okay, Chad Reed, this is where he is one of the best in the world. He did keep, Ricky, we've seen him pass riders. He's been back in the pack this season. He's proven to himself. He knows that he can pass all these guys. Physically, mentally, he's stronger than anybody out there, okay?
And he's getting the signboard too, right? He knows Stewart's way back.
Can Reed win this main event still?
I think he can. You know, here's the thing. The guys that are in shape, they deteriorate so much at the end of the race. And one thing you guys got to, exactly, that aren't in shape deteriorate so much. And the thing that's amazing, that last lap of the lights is the first lap of this. So the track is going to be, so you think it was brutal in the lights, it's going to be really brutal now. But yeah, he's going to catch him. I have to say, man, he knows this is his point. Time to maximize the points and get a little breathing room in that championship. I mean, this is the opportune time right now, and he will do it.
Well, yeah, and what's interesting about that is that Jason Lawrence has been off the bike. He hasn't even been racing. He's been sick a couple of weekends. So, I mean, you can't think that his endurance, I mean, he trains for the lights, which is a 15-lap main. This is a 20-lap main on the most difficult track that Ricky designed to be old school, rough.
Look at Reed through this whoops, just so strong. Yeah. Now Stewart just ran the fastest lap so far in 16th position, a 108.8.
Flying.
Lawrence a 109.7.
Yeah, I mean, Stewart, he has to go.
Reed a 109.2.
He has no choice.
Yeah, Stewart, absolutely. The pressure is on once again for the championship. He has to ride, he's got to go for it.
Hey, I mean, it's 17 races. Mistakes, no mistakes. You have to put yourself in position, and it's a long series. It's just past halfway, but you don't want to start back. Here you go.
Here comes Reed. He's got Hahn. He's right into him as they come into the moguls. Bar to bar, and Reed picks up another spot. That's going to move him in front of Tommy Hahn for fourth.
And as we just finished the 6th lap of 20, you see Reed was very patient, very cautious in trying to get past Tommy Hahn. Lap time-wise, he's still quite a bit quicker than Hahn. Hahn having a phenomenal ride now, this time in 4th, but Reed wasn't 4th. Now Reed's in 4th.
Here's Stewart. Getting his focus back.
Oh.
How's his riding style, Ricky? Does he look like he's found his rhythm again? We've seen, according to the clock, he looks good.
He's riding pretty good, especially with that bent-up front wheel and or front fender and no visor. It's tough to ride like that because your fender's going one way and your front wheel's going the other. You see, like right there, that's where his front fender messed up. You see, he lost his balance.
Bars are crooked, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that front wheel is twisted in the fork clamps. The bars, if you line up the bars straight, Rob, it looks like the front wheel is facing to the right. Okay, so he has to compensate, and in those situations when you pull back on the bike, you have to mentally remember that the front wheel is twisted and not be even with the bars. Okay, and that's a tough way to ride Supercross. This is the toughest track of the year, let alone with the bike damage.
Absolutely.
Back to the battle for third. This is Reed on the 1, catching Kevin Windham on the Geico Power Sports number 14, the Iron Man that we were talking about. Yeah, Ricky, size up Kevin Windham for us. How do you get around him?
Yeah, you just have to set him up. Kevin's a very good rider, very smooth, and you have to set it up early. I was looking at the lap times, and J-Law is 109, and Reed is 109, so Reed really not chipping into that lead like you probably want to, but we haven't even crested halfway.
Yeah, we haven't passed the halfway, and what's interesting, Chad Reed being very patient right now. He's riding very smart. What he cannot afford to do is get sucked into another rider's line. Okay, even though he's came up on the back of Windham, he has to use different lines, not take a mouthful of this black sand here. Okay, and he has to keep his momentum going. He doesn't want to get to Windham, let's say, and get stalled out with that forward momentum that he has. Because Jason Lawrence is still 9.3 seconds out front over Alessi. It's another about 4 seconds back to Reed.
Reed and Windham, remember last year, and that epic battle here in the mud where Windham was able to take the win when Reed's bike stalled on him and sunk to the bottom. Tonight, Reed trying to get around him, not for the win, but for another point and some incredibly important points in this championship fight. And he's inching closer.
Reed needs to get by Windham to try to win this thing. Absolutely. Enough's enough.
Here we go, into the whoops. Reed, very fast through here. To the next single jump.
He's going to set him
Over
up
the dromedary.
right here. And look at Windham gave him room. He gave him room. He knew he can't run with Chad and let him go. That's why it's always so important to be good to guys when you're passing them and not be a jerk and stuff, because you're going to need a favor.
Well,
that's another point for the championship right
150 starts. Windham had plenty of experience. He has lots of respect for Chad Reed also, so they're going to race as hard as they can, but nothing dirty.
Absolutely.
Jason Lawrence has a big lead, but things have not been smooth for the rider on the 338. Watch this.
Watch this. He comes here. He triples into this thing. Comes up a little short there and just really almost jumps past that when he jumps off of that step up in there. You got to think that we're on the lap 9 of 20. You take this thing to the 15th lap, 16th lap. Does the nerves start to come into play for J-Law? Or does the wild child, is he just immune to nerves and anything that's going on? He's just absolutely loving life going for it.
Yeah, I think he's just loving life going for it. And that's why I think it's so important for Reed to start putting in some laps, because look, J-Law hits the bales.
The tough block.
Might be a little fatigue sitting there. We'll see what happens. We got to watch him, yeah.
Well, what is the toughest part about riding one of these big 450s as opposed to the bike he's riding in the 250 class? How difficult is that?
More power, heavier. The thing reacts a lot more.
And Reed starting to close in on his teammate, Mike Alessi, on the Rockstar Makita Suzuki number 800, who made the podium a week ago in Indianapolis with a third. Right now, if he can hold on for second, that would be a career best.
And watch Reed's riding style right now. He absolutely has the flow. He's just crafting lines on the track, just very methodically working through right here. So patient. He's at a 109 right now lap time.
So where is James Stewart? He's catching Heath Voss and gets around him. That puts him up into 11th. Guys, he's making the move up through the pack as well. We're halfway, 10 laps remaining. Stewart, this is the thing about James. You hate to see the guy struggle, but it's so impressive to watch him come from dead last through the field. He is incredible.
Absolutely. The guy is putting in some serious lap times.
Well, and now Reed is closing all over his teammate. Look at this, through the whoops. There he goes. Blitzes right by for second place.
Now the race is on. Now the pressure is going to start to mount. It's not Alessi there, who Lawrence was running faster than. Now it's Chad Reed.
Whole different
win
animal.
this thing. Yeah, so, you know, Reed knows that he can win this thing, take the glory and all of that, and maximize the points. And whatever happens with Stewart in the championship, that's out of his control. What is in his control is this main event.
Now, the signboards in the mechanic area, how key is that going to be right now? Because the mechanics can tell these guys. Lawrence now finds out it's Reed behind him. And Reed also finds out he's closing in for not just second place, but for the win now.
Well, this is a huge mental boost. I'm sorry, Rick.
No, I was going to say, Villapoto's sneaking up there, man. He's closing up on...
You're right, he's in fifth. And Wyndham is catching up on Alessi. Kevin Wyndham on the number 14.
Three-way battle for the podium spot.
Yeah,
three-way battle for the podium.
Villapoto
sneaking up.
So Alessi's got his hands full. He dealt with Reed. Reed went by, and now he's got a lot of pressure with Kevin Wyndham. Alessi looks over, and here comes Wyndham. He switches lines on him and takes a position away. Man. So Wyndham goes to third.
Wow, Wyndham is on rails right now, too. He is absolutely flying. Alessi hanging tough, but just is no match for these riders through the whoop section. And look who it is. One of his arch nemesis from the amateur racing days, Ryan Villapoto, really putting together a great main event.
Here comes Villapoto, inching his way up now to Alessi. Alessi looks over again. Oh. And that's one of the things I think Alessi does wrong. He spends too much time looking back. Don't worry about who's there. Just go forward.
Man, you got to race what's in front of you, not behind you. No doubt.
Unfortunately, it's Ryan Villapoto who's incredibly strong. Now, we're going to stay with this race all the way to the checkered flag. No commercials on our speed coverage live from here in Daytona till the checkered flag falls, and we can tell you who won it.
Look at Chad Reed gained a second there on Jason Lawrence. This is a really, you know, the last 5 or 6 laps, I think, is when you really start to fatigue. So we'll see what happens. But, man, I think Lawrence is just a good enough rider to maintain his lead.
Wait, you see Alessi's bike really a lot of shake out of that corner, and that really kind of helped Villapoto close in.
That stuff starts to happen here in Daytona about the halfway point. Even if you're doing good, that bike's all over the place.
Boy, Alessi's fighting through this, Aaron.
He most definitely is. And you guys, this afternoon, right after first practice, I went into their rig and I spoke with Roger DeCoster, his team manager, and he was advising him to lower his entire bike by 3 millimeters. He said that way it would handle a lot better. He has been struggling in first practices lately, and he said it's going to do a whole lot of difference for him as far as weight transfer, and he needs to try to be not as aggressive with the throttle and try to handle it through the corners just a little bit better.
Well, Aaron, take a look at this. Jason Lawrence, a 110.3. Chad Reed, a 109.9. He's running quicker. Is it enough?
It may be. It's going to come down to, you know, his physical strength, his training. And Ricky Carmichael here, you've won this race 5 times, okay? You are the rider that took training to, you know, not only the next level, but beyond, okay? And so Ricky said it's going to come down to attrition.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, man. I was going for Reed. I thought he still had time to do it, but it's not looking good at this point. But, hey, this is Daytona Supercross. Anything can happen.
Well, look at Villapoto. Through the whoops, and Villapoto's going to get Alessi. Boy, that seems to be the hot spot to make the pass. So Villapoto now moves up to 4th.
And Ricky, you worked with Alvin Baker, your trainer, for a number of years. Definitely instrumental in the success and whatnot. He's now working with Stewart. What does he bring to the table in this situation for James as he's trying to come through the pack and work his way up here?
Well, I think, you know, he obviously adds a little bit more to James's program, but James is so talented. You know, he really is. And, you know, but hey, you got to go out there and execute. And I honestly, I'm so stunned. I can't believe what happened in the first turn. It's got me mind-boggled.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sure James Stewart is thinking the same thing. So if he comes out of this tonight finishing somewhere in the top 10, which is where he is right now, what does he do mentally as this tour moves on to New Orleans now?
Well, I think, you know, he's just going to say, hey, now it's going to be a battle to the end, which it always was going to be. And, you know, now he's at a deficit. So there's a lot of races left. He's probably not panic. Here we go.
This is for the podium.
Wow.
That's for third. Villapolo gets around Wyndham. The Monster Energy Kawasaki rider puts himself into a good spot tonight as he's up onto the podium if he can hang on.
I'm telling you, Villapolo letting it all hang out. Once he made that pass, he went over one of those side jumps. His feet are off the pegs. He's just flying, letting it go. But how about Jason Lawrence, 338? That Monster Energy Yamaha. This is a new upstart team. Lawrence is actually the team owner. Nick Way rides on this team. Lawrence rides the West Coast Lights Division. Now he's back here riding Daytona, and he's leading the biggest Supercross of the year.
6 to go.
Look at the lap times that time, though. 2 seconds.
He just
2 seconds difference. So 110, a 110 for Lawrence, a 108 for Reed.
Oh, man, he is catching them, guys.
6 to go. Reed is 7.5 seconds back, but he's 2 seconds a lap faster, so that's 12.
That's going to put him.
Do you want to rethink whether or not you think Reed is done?
I don't know. When you get that 5 lap to go, though, Jeff, you know how it is. I mean, you get that little burst of energy.
Okay, but this is right where Lawrence would be seeing the checkered flag in a lights race with 15 laps in.
And
so
an easier track. Here he is. I mean, Reed looks like he's going to.
It's going to come down to it,
He's
guys.
got blood in the water. Look, Reed's got blood in the water, and he is a shark, no doubt about it. Ricky, arguably one of the grittiest riders in this series.
Absolutely. Never say die. That was always so tough about him. You knew he was going to be there. Injuries, no injuries. The guy is, man, he's a digger for sure.
Okay, last time around, Lawrence brought it back down to 109.9. Reed across the stripe, but 108. 1 second.
Here we go. Oh, that was a bit of a bobble, though. That was a bit of a bobble. He is riding so hard on the edge. And Ricky, I think that's one of the things. Villapolo apparently having trouble. Let's see.
Villapolo, he'll be at the top of your screen there.
There he stalls it out.
And Alessi gets by, Wyndham gets by, Millsaps gets by. Well, he lost a bunch of spots there.
Wow.
Right after the podium he goes. Here's Stewart, still creeping up through the field. He's in 9th.
That's definitely pretty impressive, man, to come back, gets on the wrong bike, and here he is. Man.
Stewart up to 9th and has a shot of picking off a couple more. One of those is Short and Hahn as well.
Tommy Hahn, yep, up there.
That's 2 more spots he could get right there.
Tommy Hahn putting in a pretty good ride in the top 10. Man.
This is a difficult racetrack here tonight, and Stewart trying to salvage points.
Man, Reed
he's
is
been down
on it.
once, but he doesn't want to go down twice.
Reed, that last lap, 2 seconds quicker on that last lap as we go back and watch Stewart getting around Short.
Stewart getting another position here. Points, man.
111 for Jason Lawrence. Here he is. Jason Lawrence is out front. The pressure's on.
Oh,
boy,
man.
3.5 laps to go, and he's going to win the biggest race of his career.
Wow.
Can he do it?
I don't know, man.
Ricky, does his riding style look like it's changed?
I don't know. Yeah, it does. Look how fast Reed is going. You guys need to look how aggressive
down the
he
front
is.
straight, just off our screen.
He's got blood in the water, man. He's got blood in the water. Look at him.
He looks like he's laboring like we talked about in the
right here.
race,
Look at him. Look at him. Just labor. I mean, that is time lost, man. You got to get on it.
There's Reed on the one right there.
Hammering it.
3.5 laps remaining, and Reed can now see him.
Look, he's going to be on him here at 1
He
lap.
can see him. Here we go.
He's got him. Watch Lawrence is going to try something crazy.
Lawrence is gone.
He lays over. He lays over.
He's not in the championship. No. That was very respectful of Lawrence. He's gone out here. He's led the main event. But Chad Reed now across the line with 3 to go.
Wow.
Gonna win the Daytona Supercross.
And that was 3 very big points.
Absolutely.
With that move for Chad Reed. And the effort, Ricky, can you put it into perspective how much effort it took for Chad Reed to run him down physically? I mean, we all go to the gym, we all try, we get on the treadmill. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you could see the last couple laps. I mean, he was starting to put it to it, and man, he's just got it. Now he's got to seal the deal and get as many points. Probably wishing James wouldn't have caught up so far, but it is what it is. James is a great rider, and he wants his championship just as bad, so just got to take it home now to the finish.
Chad Reed on his way to 2 wins in a row this season. And Jeff, that would be massive. Not just, we thought it was huge when he got his first win a week ago in Indianapolis. Now 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row is definitely a momentum booster, and that's exactly what Chad Reed needed. And, you know, Chad Reed's already won Daytona twice.
Yes.
If he manages to hold on here and win 3 Daytona Supercrosses, he's going to join Mike Kudrowski, McGrath, Bob Hanna. Pretty big name. Those riders are so strong here in Daytona on this physically demanding track.
There's Mike Gosler, a year-old crew chief mechanic.
I'm so happy for him, man, just to, you know, he's been on a dry spell, and to get that win last weekend and to possibly back it up. Look at this.
How about Davey Millsaps? Comes through the last chance qualifier, has issues on the start, and he's going to battle for a podium spot with Michael Lessie here in the final lap.
Millsaps was one of the riders that was down on the outside of the first turn. Off that start, now is battled all the way back, vying for a podium position.
Wow.
Just incredible ride.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it.
And he's always been strong here.
Absolutely.
But Michael Lessie going for his second podium of the year.
Man, you think he'll get him, Jeff? You think he'll get him?
Millsaps really has got the momentum. You know, Alessi's hanging on tight. He's trying to grab his second podium in a row, but I'm telling you, it might be just too much. You see him just going for it. But Millsaps has got the forward momentum. Alessi's got the backwards momentum.
Last lap, right here. Seal the deal.
Chad Reed just takes the white flag as we continue to watch this battle for third. And it's a great fight. Alessi doing everything he can to hang on to a podium finish. Davey Millsaps continuing to try to climb up the ladder.
And I'm telling you, Ralph, this is where the body, the arms, the legs, everything is jello. Your hands are hurting, and Millsaps just throwing caution to the wind. Absolutely going for it. He knows from the pit board area here that he needs to get past Alessi to make it on the podium here. And what an incredible ride that would be for Millsaps coming through the LCQ.
A couple of factory riders battling it out. Oh, he takes it away. Goes down. They're both down. They both come to a stop. Millsaps pushes right off of Alessi's bike. Millsaps will take third. Here comes Wyndham. Wyndham and Villapoto.
Oh my, I haven't seen a move like that in forever, but look at this.
Meanwhile, the checkered flag and a huge points night awaits Chad Reed. He becomes only the 5th rider to win Daytona on 2 different brands, and he's making his way to his 3rd Daytona Supercross victory. And more importantly, his 2nd of the year, and the points lead as Chad Reed wins the Daytona Supercross by Honda. Coming down to the checkered flag, Lawrence holds on for an incredible second place finish.
Incredible ride for Jason Lawrence.
Who's going to get to third?
Wow.
Is it going to be Millsaps?
Here he goes.
Yes.
We might see some fireworks after the finish.
And not just the ones off the top of the finish line jump.
Alessi and Wyndham round out the top 5, and it's still James
Stewart trying to get to 7th.
He's going to get it. Man, that's an impressive ride.
What a ride.
That is impressive.
And that's what championships are made out of. Stewart comes battling through the pack for a 7th place finish.
Wow.
How about it, though? Chad Reed 2 in a row and takes the points lead at Daytona.
And last year, he was 2 corners short of winning it as well. Would have been his 4th here tonight when the bike sunk to the bottom of the lane.
Look at that smile, man.
And look at that. What a difference in the eyes. James Stewart and Chad Reed. The battle continues for the title. We're coming back to Daytona. Look at Chad Reed celebrating here in Daytona.
I'm telling you, that's a special feeling. You're riding down that pavement knowing that Daytona 500 winners have gone on that same piece of asphalt.
Pretty strong.
That's what it's all about.
Here's the results. And at the top, three-time winner here at Daytona will be Chad Reed, who takes the win.
Look at the crowd gathering down there.
That's cool.
They let all the fans that were in there, let them right up there to the podium.
All right, Aaron, let's check in with the big winner.
Well, guys, actually, we've got Jason Lawrence down here. A perfect night from start to finish for this guy, making his debut here in Supercross. Jason, explain what's going through your mind right now. You're used to racing 15 laps. You put in a solid 20 laps. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know how solid it was. I mean, if I had better fitness, I definitely could have won the race, but Chad is, I've watched all the races this year. I see what he does if he gets a bad start. He comes up, and his last laps are the fastest laps, and he was catching me about enough to get right on me, and like I said, I'm a Chad Reed fan, so I know he's got more in the tank at the end, so instead of trying to be the hero, I just backed it down because there's a huge gap, and here I am. I'm up here. I'm happy.
Congratulations on a job well done.
Oh, he should be thrilled.
Oh, that
That's
was an impressive
performance.
ride all the way around.
Absolutely. Here's those results. Davey Millsap's a great ride. Villapoto hangs in there. James Stewart, arguably one of the best rides of the night, fighting all the way up to 7th. And let's go right back down to Aaron.
2 weeks in a row, Chad Reed picks up that win, and of all places, once again here at Daytona. Chad, take us through this. What does this moment mean? You're grinning ear to ear.
Man, I love Daytona. It's been a special place, and you know, what can I say? I threw it. I didn't throw it away last year, but I kind of somewhat had it taken away from me, and I just went out there. I was, almost on the bottom of that pileup in the first turn. It was really, really slick, and had a great jump. Just spun on the other side like I did in the heat, and just tried to be smart. And I seen who was out front, and everyone was in the back, so I just tried putting my head down. Right a calm race, just tried not to freak out, make stupid mistakes, and I'm happy for J Long. He cops a lot of slack, and for good reasons, but he's a good kid, and I just want to thank everybody on the Rockstar Makita Suzuki team. They did a great job this weekend, and came to my house in Florida, and all the guys at Thor Parts Unlimited for my new gear this weekend, and Bridgestone, man, this is it's a big deal. So
There's obviously an element of surprise seeing Jason Lawrence leading, but take us through the path for that lead.
I'm not surprised. I mean, he was the fastest qualifier today, and he was out front in the heat, and he's a good rider. You never underestimate anyone. That's why we go racing. And, once again, just thanks for the fans. It's been awesome, and I'm real happy to get another Daytona win. This is special.
Chad Reed, your current points leader as we leave Daytona.
It is a very special win, Chad, and here's why. Let's show you the company now he keeps. As you mentioned, Jeff, he's with Kudrowski, McGrath, and Hannah, but look who he's closing in on. Jeff Stanton and you, Ricky.
My days are done, so that he's probably going to obtain that or possibly beat it if he keeps up the luck and riding hard and earning his wins the way he has. He possibly could spit me out of there.
Let's go right back to Aaron.
Davey Millsaps was not scared to make an aggressive move on Michael Lessie. At the last lap at that, Davey, was it sort of live or die? That was the moment you had to do it?
Well, he let the door pretty wide open, and I figured he'd stop a little bit, but, I hit him really hard, and I apologize, but it's racing, and I couldn't have done it without American Honda Red Bull Racing. My mechanic, Carlos, my trainer, my fiance, Affliction Clothing. No fear, everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations. Great job tonight.
By the way, the correct answer on our trivia question tonight was the king of Supercross, Jeremy McGrath.
Never rode the East Coast Lights.
Yeah, not that he wouldn't have won if he had, right?
He was pretty good.
He's outstanding, and hope you win that iPod. They're great. Okay, guys, final thoughts. What'd you think, Ricky?
I thought it was an exciting night, both lights and the Supercross class. Man, it's Daytona Supercross. A lot of happy people down there, not so happy people. Unbelievable.
And Jeff, spin it for me forward, because we're heading on to New Orleans next in the Superdome.
Well, momentum shift once again. A few races ago, it was all about James Stewart. Reed managed to win that race last week, and now this incredible victory here. Stewart has to be scratching his head. What have I done wrong? Okay, so the momentum has definitely switched.
Well, let's show you what happened. It all started in that first corner when they dropped the gate, and Ricky, you called it right, that front wheel.
That's the thing. You just was wanting to get in there hot and then grab the front brake, and those things have so much power that the grass, it just
Yeah, that grass is extremely slippery.
It's slick in a car, and it's really slick with locking the front brake up on a motorcycle.
And then the pass for the lead, he just wore down Lawrence, didn't he?
Yeah, and Lawrence just pulled out of the way. He did he had a phenomenal ride going, but he knew that he wasn't going to take it all 20 laps. He knew that that Reed is working for the points championship also.
All right, let's show you the points now. They came in here tied. Top five, it's an 11-point difference between Reed and Stewart.
It's a lot of points in one weekend.
Huge. It's huge. Ricky, before we let you go, congratulations on the truck deal.
Thank you.
What do you got next?
Just trying to get some more truck deals. Everything's going good, and thanks for having me on here, man.
Yeah, it's been awesome. See you back here next year?
All right, that's the plan.
For Aaron Bates, Jeff Emig, and some guy named The GOAT, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Daytona. Congratulations to the now 3-time winner of the Daytona Supercross, Chad Reed.